Eli Manning, for 16 seasons was the quarterback of the New York Giants. And we know that Eli Manning comes from a football family. Peyton Manning is one of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history. Archie Manning, their dad, also, was definitely heavily involved in football. And, he come from a football family overall. And when I look at Eli Manning, right, the Giants, again, they're going to retire his number 10 jersey today, and he's going to go into the Giants Hall of Fame. And so the question here is, does Eli Manning deserve to be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame? When you look at Eli Manning's career, he's a two-time Super Bowl champion, two-time Super Bowl MVP, four-time Pro Bowl quarterback for his career, 366 total touchdowns, 244 interceptions, threw for over 57,000 passing yards, completing 60% of his passes. He is a great playoff performer. In his playoff career, Eli Manning has a career record of 8-4. He has 18 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. He has the most passing yards in a single postseason with 1,219 total passing yards. That happened in 2011. He also beat my Packers twice at Lambeau Field, once in 2007 against Brett Favre, and also in 2011 against Aaron Rodgers. Eli Manning is one of the most clutch players in NFL history. And there are certain players that always rise to the occasion. And for whatever reason, they always step up in playoff moments. We saw many years in the NBA where Robert Horry wasn't a great player, overall, but he was a great playoff performer and hit big time shots, throughout the course of his career. Damian Lillard, I believe he's the most clutch player in the NBA right now. Now, he doesn't have any championships, but I think when it comes down to best clutch players in the NBA, Damian Lillard deserves to be at the top of that list. Also in the NFL, playoff performers who I believe who play well in the postseason. In his prime, Ben Roethlisberger, he was a great playoff performer. I always felt like when the lights was at its brightest, Ben Roethlisberger always played at a very, very high level. Now, he was never the best quarterback in the NFL. He was never on the same level as an Aaron Rodgers, on the same level as a Tom Brady, or even a Drew Brees for that matter, in my opinion. But he always performed very well in the playoffs. That's Eli Manning. Eli Manning is a great playoff performer. He's one of the most clutch players in NFL history. And I remember in the 2011, Super Bowl, I believe, when they were going up against the New England Patriots, the pass that he threw up the sideline to Mario Manningham was outstanding. It was outstanding. It was a great throw, and Eli put it right on the money. And you can make a legitimate argument that throughout the course of his career, Eli Manning was more clutch than even his brother, Peyton Manning. And as great as Peyton Manning was, Peyton Manning had some rough playoff performances. And he had some early playoff exits when he was in Indianapolis. And so that was one of the questions that we had about Peyton Manning. Can he make those clutch throws, late in playoff games? Because his little brother, Eli Manning, he did that at a very, very high level. But there are people who get promotions and certain opportunities in life that others don't get simply because of their last name. And that's exactly what's happening right now with Eli Manning and why he will be a Hall of Fame quarterback when it's all said and done. But if you're asking the question whether or not he deserves it, I say he does not deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. And let me give you multiple reasons why I don't believe Eli Manning deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Eli Manning's career regular season record is 117 and 117. So he's only won 500, 50% of his games in the regular season. Not very impressive. Not very impressive. Also, Eli Manning has never led the league in passing yards or passing touchdowns. It's never happened. But he's led the NFL in interceptions 3 times during his career. There were many years where I used to watch Eli Manning, and he would throw so many interceptions. And I would think to myself, like, gee, the Giants had an opportunity to win this game, but Eli Manning can't protect the football. And that's the reason why we saw them miss the playoffs many years. Okay? In 16 total seasons in the NFL as being the starting quarterback of the New York Giants, Eli Manning has missed the playoffs 10 out of 16 years. So that means he's only made the playoffs 6 out of 16 years. That is not Hall of Fame worthy, in my opinion. It's just not. And so when you also compare him to his counterparts in the NFL, even though he never won a Super Bowl, never got to a Super Bowl, I always felt like Phillip Rivers was better than Eli Manning. Eli Manning just had a better situation than Phillip Rivers. Eli Manning had a great defense that carried him twice on his postseason runs. He won the Super Bowl twice in his career, and he had great defensive lines twice in his career. Jason Pierre-Paul, Michael Strahan, he had some great players on the defensive line that applied pressure to opposing quarterbacks, and that's why Eli Manning won 2 Super Bowls in his career. He beat Tom Brady twice in the Super Bowl. One for Eli Manning, Tom Brady would have 9 Super Bowls in his career. So we thank Eli for that, because I can only imagine what Brady fans would say if he had 9 Super Bowls on his resume. But 117 career record in the regular season, never leading the league in passing yards or passing touchdowns, and also leading the league in interceptions 3 times, and also missing the playoffs 10 out of 16 years in this regular season, in his career. And then also when you compare Eli Manning to his counterparts, Phillip Rivers, Ben Roethlisberger, Drew Brees, there are so many quarterbacks that I would take over Eli Manning. Eli Manning was average. And in my opinion, average doesn't warrant you to be in the Hall of Fame. Your last name shouldn't warrant you to be in the Hall of Fame. But we all know Eli Manning will get into the Hall of Fame just based off his last name alone. Based off his last name alone, he'll get in. But does he deserve it? Absolutely not.